What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews. It's Monday Night Football. We've got the Chiefs, we've got the Jaguars, we've got a couple of bets for you. We've got a ton of leans too. If that sounds interesting, let's go.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
James is back in the building. James, I want to say congratulations on our last video. We both shared a ton of picks, 4 each. You went 4-0 on those picks, and I sucked. I went 3-1. And the one that I did lose was where we happened to take the same game, the same angle, same team. You took the backup running back. I took Alvin goddamn Kamara. That was my only loser, but congratulations to you. Great Sunday. Some great picks from you, mate.
Yeah, man, it feels good. It feels extra good to finish it off on Sunday Night Football with Stephon Diggs, so that's always good. We've got a lot of good looks in this game. Excited to break it down, but yeah, it's nice to get off to a good week.
Yeah, I'm looking to cap off a good week. I think what was I telling you? I'm 9-2 on my straight picks this week. Hopefully, Monday Night Football is just as fruitful and we keep this thing moving. So we do have the Chiefs versus the Jags. Firstly, shout out to Props Madness. This is the tool that James and I both use. If you're interested in checking it out, you get a 25% discount when you use the code DAFT when you sign up. So check out propsmadness.com. We've got a 3.5-point spread. We've got a total at 45.5. James, you want to talk us through how these teams match up?
Yeah. Well, to start, it's a 3.5-point spread in favor of the Chiefs, and it's actually in Jacksonville. So we've got a home underdog here. As far as the spread, I kind of lean towards the Chiefs. I think Trevor Lawrence has been kind of inefficient and inaccurate so far this year. They've obviously been playing pretty well. They're 3-1, so they've looked good. But I think the Chiefs' defense will kind of get after him and frustrate him a little bit with some pressure. So that's where I stand on the total. As far as like some injuries to consider, Xavier Worthy got downgraded to questionable earlier today. So that's definitely something to note, something to look after. I know they took some of the lines down for some of their receivers, which is interesting, but excited to break the game down. I think we've got a fun little game here. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm leaning on the Chiefs as well. I don't know. I feel like they're starting to turn a corner. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Defensively is what I like the most from the Chiefs as of late. Let's get straight into some picks. So we've only got 2 picks down right now. But we're also going to take you through that segment of shit we're thinking about betting on, which is our leans, and then we can really shoot some crap around there. But let's talk about your first play. So you're looking at sweet Goldilocks here, sweet Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm going with Trevor Lawrence. I'm going with his rushing yards, actually. So I'm going with over 10.5, and then I'm also laddering him up to 20 plus for plus 270, and then 25 plus for plus 430. So you get pretty good odds there, but as far as why I like it, he's only over in one game this year, averaging 8 yards per game. But I think it's kind of a buy low spot on a pretty athletic quarterback. We've seen him run before. He's averaged 16.3 rush yards over the last 3 seasons. And we've seen him use his legs this year. Last game, he had 7 rush attempts. So he's been using his legs. He's been running out of the pocket. So I think he's an athletic guy, and I think he's due for some bounce back here. But as far as the matchup, the Chiefs allow the 5th most rush yards to opposing QBs. They let up 48 yards to Lamar Jackson, 27 to Russell Wilson, 15 to Jalen Hurts, and 32 to Justin Herbert, who I think is a pretty good athletic comparison to Lawrence. But also the Chiefs rank 6th in pressure rate at 43.8% and 5th in blitz rate. So I think they're going to be getting after him, forcing him out of the pocket, maybe frustrating him a little bit, which is why he tries to use his legs. But the last reason why I really like this play is that the Chiefs run man coverage at the 10th highest rate in the NFL, and last season they were 2nd. So they love to run man, and that typically works well with QBs and rushing because defensive backs have their heads turned, they're focused on guarding one guy, and that kind of opens up lanes for quarterbacks to take off and run. So I like this line a lot. I think it has ladder potential. He could, break one for 15, 20 yards, and then, he'll be taking a few yards here and there. So I really like this look. Curious as to what you think, but I don't love him passing the ball in this game. He just hasn't really looked all that great to me. So I think he's going to use his legs here. And yeah, that's what I got. That's my favorite play on the board.
Yeah, I'm down. It'd suck if he finishes on hit 20 and for some reason he starts kneeling late and then finishes the game on 19.
Hate that.
What a Trevor Lawrence thing to do. But no, I like the play. There's a few looks that I'm leaning around Trevor Lawrence, but when we get to the leans part of this video, I'll talk more about my thoughts around Trevor Lawrence. But for my bet, I'm betting on the Jags as well, given you're not seeing too many lines here for the Chiefs. And I'm looking at Travis Hunter today. I know he's one of your favorite players to talk about and bet on. He owes you a bit of money, so I'm surprised you're not betting on him again today. He was going to pay you eventually. But I'm taking his receiving yards, over 28.5 receiving yards. I'd play this up to 30. I think he's going to get busy today. We saw last week his snap split much more on the offensive side of things. I know you can play both sides of the ball, but I think that really outlines what the intentions are and how they plan to use Travis Hunter. His targets have been great. I think 5 targets in 3 out of 4 games. Been juicy. So target share is definitely there. His average depth of target last week, it increased a lot more compared to his first 3 weeks. So I think that's how they're going to start to use him a little bit more. The Chiefs defense quietly struggling against slot wide receivers, particularly in zone heavy looks. And I think Travis Hunter's there like 65% of the time on his routes. And the script, everything ties back to the script when it comes to my betting and my strategies. And sometimes when things don't go to plan, that's why I lose. But I'm expecting the Chiefs to win this game. I'm expecting them to maintain and hold a lead. I'm expecting the Jags to have to throw. As inefficient as Goldilocks may be, I think he's still good enough to find Travis Hunter a couple of times. So if he finds him, I think 3 to 4 receptions is all we really need here to cash his 28.5 in the receiving yards. So hopefully the Rook gets busy for me.
Yeah, I like the look. Travis Hunter has been frustrating, I will say. I mean, the Jags gave up all this draft capital. They moved up in the draft to pick him, and now they're playing him as a third cornerback and a slot-only receiver. I just don't really get that. I don't know where the value is in moving up in the draft to take this guy. I know he can play on the outside as a receiver. Like we saw it in college. He was a Heisman winner. So hopefully we start seeing that more. I think this line has gone way too low, so I'm on board with you. So yeah, I like the play. Hopefully we see him out there a lot. It's noteworthy that he did kind of get benched on defense in the second half last week. So like you said, I think it's kind of showing how they want to use him, and hopefully he's more involved this week.
Absolutely. We pray. All right. They're the only 2 bets that we have down now. Obviously, Sunday Night Football primetime just finished. So more research to be done by both of us. But if you're interested in finding more of James's stuff, you can follow him on Twitter. He'll share all of his plays there. Be sure to like and subscribe to the video if you want to see more stuff that I'm doing. Now, let's talk about things that we're thinking about betting on. I want to go back to Trevor Lawrence. So you're taking his rushing yards, which I absolutely love. And the more looks that I can get for one particular player, it gives you more ideas for my precious value plays. But one thought process I had for Trevor Lawrence was taking his under in his passing yards and his over in attempts. I don't know which one I like more on. The thought process here is the attempts is purely they're going to be chasing points. He's going to throw the ball. But I think he's going to be inefficient anyway, which is why I was thinking about the under in his passing yards as well. The Chiefs, their secondary, it's been pretty good, especially the last 3 weeks, right? The last 3 QBs, Hurts, Wilson, Jackson, all under 200 yards over the last three weeks. Kansas City, top 3 in pressure rate, blitzing like motherfuckers. And it's a nightmare for someone like Lawrence. So he hasn't seen much pressure this season. He's about to feel it for the very first time, I think. So I don't like him to go over his passing yards. Then you can talk more about the schemes and that too high safety shit. But James, you probably need to explain that to me a little bit more. Like I was looking through, I was like, yeah, I get it. Like they run this a lot, but I don't understand exactly what the too high safety is. I know they run it a lot. I know Trevor Lawrence doesn't like it, but can you explain to me and everybody else who doesn't know? I might be the only person, but everybody else who doesn't know, what the hell is too high safety?
Yeah. Essentially, they're keeping 2 guys in the back, so they're not getting beat over the top. They're kind of keeping everything in front of them. And then Spagnuolo, who is the Chiefs' defensive coordinator, loves to send pressure, loves to send blitzes. So he likes to keep people kind of in the back, protecting the over-the-top looks. So maybe Brian Thomas Jr. will be contained a little bit on those deep looks. But yeah, they're trying to keep everything in front of them, rely on their athleticism and tackling on those short, flat routes. So
it ties into the Travis Hunter play anyway.
Yeah, it does, 'cause
Yeah.
he's been strictly out of the slot, so that's
Yeah.
also a great reason to like that.
Yeah. So Trevor Lawrence to hit the slot. He's not going long. I don't like him to get the passing yards. I'm leaning that way. I like your look on the rush yards. It all kind of makes sense. I just don't know how I'm going to bet it. But that's one thing that I'm thinking about. What's something else in your mind in terms of a lean?
Yeah, I think it's important to take a look at Travis Etienne in this spot. The Chiefs have not been great against the run. They actually rank 31st in rush EPA, which is basically telling you how good they've been, how successful other running backs have been. They're allowing the fourth most yards per carry at 5.2, and they've let some running backs run loose on them. So it's kind of tough to tell because the game script kind of leans towards the Chiefs, and you don't know how much they're going to try and run. But Liam Cohen, who's the Jags head coach, has been really good with this running scheme. He kind of helped Bucky Irving erupt last season, and now ETN looks really good. So he's cracked a few long runs. So I took a look at his longest rush. I think that has a little bit of value. He's been killing it, but again, the Chiefs were really good against the run last year, so it's kind of tough to tell if that's like a sticky stat or if it's just kind of a blip on the radar over the first few weeks. But do you have any thoughts on ETN?
It's one of those things where it's like, it kind of like, not that it's too good to be true, but like, this would be so easy to identify. It's like, he's been killing it. He's averaging 98 yards per game in 4 games. The matchup with the Chiefs is not a bad one. You could say that. But they've only set his line at 64.5, and we have a 3.5 point spread. So it smells a little bit fishy to me, or the line's notoriously low. Like, that's, I guess that's my thoughts on it. It looks like a good play, but then I just question, like, why would they set the line like this?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm kind of hesitant as well, but it's interesting. It's something to think about for sure.
I think, a lot of these primetime games, like the Bills, they're just tight right? They're just such a tight affair. And a lot of these dogs been keeping it close. So, if that trend continues, then ETN getting busy on the ground, I can definitely see that happening because then the game script's not going to go one way. Right. We might see a neutral game script in this one where the Jags might have some success on the ground. So I don't hate it. I think about a bitch ass parlay. Let's take 50. Let's be cute about it. Let's take 50 with something else. But yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I can jump into another lean that I had. So I was actually looking at Marquise Brown on the Chiefs. Again, I was looking at this before the Worthy news, so his line has kind of moved all over the place. Not sure what it is now. But yeah, as far as why I kind of liked this, when Worthy came back, Juju Smith-Schuster and Tyquan Thornton got bumped into the slot, and Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy stayed on the outside. And the Jaguars are actually allowing the highest target rate to outside wide receivers. So I think this is a spot where either Hollywood or Worthy could have a really good game. Worthy is also, Hollywood Brown is really good against zone coverage. In week 1, when they played the Chargers, they run a ton of zone, and he had a great week. But obviously, Worthy went down on like the 3rd play of the game. So it's kind of questionable with, what's going to happen with Worthy. Is he going to play? Is he going to be kind of limited with his injuries? I don't know. So I might wait for a little bit more info on that and then create some sort of play once I have some more information. But yeah, do you have any thoughts on the Chiefs pass catchers?
Absolutely not. As you know, pass catchers, receivers, it's a prop that I wouldn't say I tend to avoid them because it's a lie. I think half of my props were receiving props, but I find them so difficult to pick sometimes. Sometimes, honestly, when they win, I just feel like I was lucky. I just get lucky often. But yeah, at this moment with this Worthy news, I've honestly got no idea. Where my mind goes at the moment is actually around Mahomes. I want to get your opinions, your thoughts on Mahomes when it comes to all his props, really.
Yeah.
What do you think about Pat Mahomes?
I think it's important to note that the Jags play a ton of zone. They play zone at the 2nd highest frequency in the NFL, and historically that's been money for Mahomes. He's been great with Kelsey. finding the soft spots, and he's great like scrambling out of the pocket and
Mm.
finding the weak zones. So he's always been good. I think the completions are a solid look, but the line is pretty high. I think it's justified. And then his longest completion is also a look for me. With Worthy, I think it's much better, but he's been connecting with a lot of deep shots this year, whether it's Thornton, Brown, Worthy. He's got a lot of speedsters on the outside who can break loose. But again, the line is pretty high. I don't know if I'm going to get there with this one, but I think it's worth thinking about.
Yeah, obviously, every time we talk about receivers, I can't help but think about the guy who has to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So it's like whether it's Worthy or somebody else, like Mahomes likely gets it out, right? The matchup is nice.
Yeah.
If
The
we get that
Jags are
new ball coming
also
through.
really good against the run. So
Yeah.
they've allowed the 5th fewest rush yards this season, and they're 12th in rush EPA. So good run defense. They might be without Trayvon Walker, who is their starting defensive end, number 1 overall pick from a few years ago. He's going to be questionable heading into this one. So, again, another injury to keep in mind while you're placing your bets. But, yeah.
Well, then the attempts probably give me a bit of interest, right? Is the line set where his average is 35.5 pass attempts? If we're saying Jags are good into the run, Mahomes throws the ball a little bit more. Not as if he was chasing points, but even in games that they've won, he's been throwing the ball quite a bit, right? 37 in the last 2, Giants, Ravens.
Yeah.
So something around Pat Mahomes' arm I can probably get behind.
Yeah. The Chiefs have nothing to offer on the ground as well. Pacheco, Hunt,
They have nothing to offer.
So, yeah, you could fade one of them, but their lines are insanely low as well. So,
wow. I guess the lines being so low just tell you they're not going to do much work on the ground, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, because Pacheco was like a machine last year and the year prior. Has something changed?
I mean, last year he looked really good for the first 8 or so weeks. He had a gruesome leg injury and then came back in the playoffs and didn't really look the same. I don't really know what's been up with him. I think Kareem Hunt's been mixing in, so he hasn't been getting the full workload. And then, the Chiefs just haven't been as dominant on the ground as they have been in the past. I don't know whether that's their offensive line not being great or just them kind of focusing on the passing attack. But, Pacheco's line is very, very low. So
it is. Well, just looking at the numbers, Kareem Hunt probably sees a little bit more volume. Well, as of late, the last couple of weeks, Kareem Hunt's been seeing more carries than Pacheco has. So, but yeah, you're right. Taking an under on a line this low,
especially in prime time, you don't want to be watching that.
No, you don't. You know, in primetime games, you want overs. I wanted to ask you about some tight ends. You have any thoughts around some tight ends here? They usually have some very achievable lines.
Yeah.
Do you think tight ends getting busy?
I think both tight ends, Brendan Strange and Kelsey, both have solid looks here. Strange has been great. He's kind of been Lawrence's, reliable
safety blanket
outlet. Exactly. Yeah. So I think he's a solid look. The Chiefs have been good through the air, and I don't trust Trevor Lawrence all that much. But as far as Kelsey, like I mentioned before, he's good against zone. Mahomes is good against zone. He hasn't had a big breakout game just yet, but we'll see if that's coming. I'm not all too sure if that's this game, but I think both have solid looks. I don't know if either of them are my favorite bets in the world, but do you like either of them in particular?
Well, Kelsey at a line like this gets my attention. And if we tie that to the fact that Mahomes probably throws the ball 35 times, I'd probably lean more towards Kelsey. And if I'm already betting on Hunter, I am definitely not going to be betting on another receiver from the Jags.
Can't do that.
I don't trust Trevor that much. I actually don't trust him at all, but he's got no choice but to throw the ball at some point. So, I'll probably lean towards Travis Kelsey, but I'm probably going to wait for this worthy news to be announced and see what happens.
Agreed. Yeah. Noah Gray is another tight end, by the way. I'll throw that out there. I was actually looking at his under in his longest reception. I know that's a really niche play there, but he's only gone over it once.
To me again?
Under in his longest reception, actually.
Right.
I think it's at 9.5, but he's only been used underneath. He hasn't really had any downfield targets, so If you want to get gritty and take a disgusting bet, I think this isn't a terrible look. But again, you don't really want to be rooting for an under and a longest reception in a primetime Monday Night Football game.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I can get a little bit gritty sometimes, but low volume for Mr. Gray here. And then it's like, if he's going to catch it once per game, then if he catches it at less than 10, chances are he may not get another catch, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a disgusting way to bet, but I don't mind it. It's a pretty cool angle. All right, cool. Look, outside of that, James, I don't have any other leans. Like, this worthy news has thrown me off a little bit. I don't trust the Jags too much, so just having I'll probably take a deeper dive into Trevor Lawrence. Travis Etienne looks too good to be true, and I've already got money down on Travis Hunter, so I'll probably need to dive a little bit more into the Chiefs close to the game. But any last thoughts?
I think we pretty much covered it all for what we've got right now, but yeah, we've got some good bets out there. I love the 2 we have down, so yeah, that's all I got.
All right, let's do it. Well, we went 7-1 on Sunday. Hopefully we can go 2-0 on Monday Night Football. Let us know in the comment section down below what bets that you have. Help your boy out. Give me some more angles to work with. But I appreciate you all if you made it this far into the video. Gamble responsibly. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.